Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ryan, and today I've got a different video for you. This one is going to be another story video. I made one in the past about me and how I got my account stolen, and you guys seem to pretty much like that, so I'm going to make another one, and this one is going to be about the time that I felt like I was being stalked, and it's a pretty crazy story, so sit back, relax, and let's just get right into it. So even though it's pretty shitty to say, I'm pretty sure that everybody knows that in their school, whether it's middle school or high school or even elementary school or even college, any type of school that you go to, there is always a group of people that you classify as like the weirdest in the school, like the creepiest and the weirdest in the school. And it's always like a single person, and you just know who they are. Like, you don't have to know them personally, you just know that they're really weird, you know what I mean? And there was this girl, I'm not going to say her name, let's just say her name was like Rebecca or something. So her name's Rebecca in this story. So that's just going to fill in for the story for later. But now let's get into the real beginning of the story. So one day I'm playing Xbox, right? And I think I was like really into Destiny at the time. So I was playing a lot of Destiny. And I get a phone call on my cell phone. I was like, oh, okay. And it was a random number, so I couldn't see any caller ID. So I answered it, and I was like, hello? And she goes, hey, is this Ryan? And she said my last name too. And I said, yeah. And she goes, oh, this is Skylar from school. And I was like, well, I don't know a Skylar, because I really didn't. I don't know any Skylars that go to my school. I really don't. And she was like, yeah, you do. We were in this class together. And I was like, no, I wasn't in that class and stuff. And she told me that she rode my bus and stuff like that. And I had no idea who this Skylar person was. I thought I was just being a dick and like didn't remember her. Because, I don't know, sometimes I forget people's faces. I'm terrible with names. I really am. I'm horrible with names. So I just thought it was just my mistake. So I tried to tell her to, like, give me some clues for me to, like, be reminded who you are or something like that. And I just couldn't remember who this person was. I felt like I've never known a Skylar in my entire life, which I really haven't. So, we were just talking back and forth, and she was trying to convince me that I knew her, and I was like, no, I really don't know a Skylar. Like, I'm 100% certain. And she was like, okay, whatever. And then she was kind of upset, and then that was the end of the call. And I was like, oh, okay, that was really weird. I think this was in the summer, too. Yeah, it was in the summer. It was like shortly after school got out, and she called me. So that was weird, that one day. And the next day I got on, and I was just playing more Destiny like I always did. And I got another phone call, and it was the same person. I was like, okay, is this like some sort of sick prank or something like that? Because I did have someone who used to prank call me all the time, but it was funny. Like, it wasn't anything bad. Like, it was actually funny pranks, but this was really different from the pranks I used to get. So, I was kind of saying, like, is this the person that pranks me? Like, I'm not going to say the person that pranks me name, but I was asking, like, is this like a prank or like whatever? And they were like, no, like, this is serious. Like, this is Skylar. And she called me again. Like, if I didn't know who you were the first time, she just called me again. I was like, okay, that's still really weird. Like, I don't know how you're going to convince me. And she started saying, let's go to Chick-fil-A. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Chick-fil-A is, but it's like it's like a chicken restaurant. It's like a chicken sandwich restaurant. So I was like, no, like, I don't know you. Like, why would I go to Chick-fil-A with you? I don't even know who you are. And then she just kept saying, hey, let's go meet up at Chick-fil-A and stuff like that. I was like, okay, this is some sort of weird scam. Like, this has to be, because, like, this person isn't letting up. So, like, I started saying stuff, like, off topic to see if, like, it was some sort of, like, random, like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking, like, it was some sort of, like, automated thing that was just trying to get me to do something. But it wasn't. It was actually a real person. And I was like, okay, well, this is really weird then, because I've never had anything like this happen before. Like, people just calling me over and over, and I had no idea who they were, and I've just never had that happen to me before. So I said, no, like, can you, like, not call me anymore? Like, I was starting to get real fed up, because it was, like, annoying. Like, every day I'd get calls, and she'd want me to go to Chick-fil-A, or she'd want me to go do something, and I have no idea who she is. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. And then that was the end of the call for that day. And the third day, I got another call. I was, like, playing Xbox again, just doing my normal thing, living my simple life. And I got another phone call, and it was the same person saying that she was Skylar again. And I was like, listen, like, you have to leave me alone. Like, calm down, like, with these calls, and, like, stop calling me, because I don't know who you are, and it's starting to, like, freak me out. And she goes, are you sure this is Ryan? And she also said my last name. And I was like, well, yeah, but I don't know who you are. And she goes, do you live on blank blank? She gave my address. She said my address. And I just froze. Like, I was like, oh my God, this person knows where I live. I was like, what is even happening right now? Like, I froze and my jaw dropped and I went, how do you know me? Like, seriously, how do you know me? She goes, school. And I said, I really don't know you from school. Like, this was starting to really freak me out. Like, I was pretty scared at this point because I didn't know, like, what this was. I had no idea what was going on. I thought it was a prank in the back of my head, but I thought it was serious at the same time. And I was like, I don't think this is a prank. Like, this has been going on too long. And I was like, this is really, really weird. Like, how do you know where I live? And she goes, yeah. And she started she started saying some landmarks near my house, and it was dead on, like dead on where I live. The number of my house was correct. The road was correct. Everything was correct. And I was just freaked the fuck out. Like, she knew exactly where I lived. And I was like, there's no possible way someone can know where I live and me not know who they are. And she started saying that she rode my bus and stuff like that, like for school. Like, whenever I'd get dropped off, she'd like see me get dropped off. I know for a 100% fact that there was not a Skylar on any of my buses ever, because every time I was on a bus, I knew exactly who every person was, because, like, you know, that was just who I was. I knew everybody. And this started to freak me out even more. And then I was like, listen, this is over. I can't do this anymore. I'm not talking to you. Like, please just leave me alone. And I hung up on her. And I thought it was over after that. And a day went by where she didn't call me. Like, I thought it was over because the next day she didn't call me. And then the day after that, I got the same call again. And I picked up and I was just like, please, just like, leave me alone. And she goes, I have a confession to make. And I was like, oh shit, what's this all about? And she goes, my name's not actually Skylar. And I went, okay, well, I kind of figured that because I don't know a Skylar. And she goes, yeah, my name's not really Skylar. And I go, okay, so what's your real name? And she goes, I wouldn't say her real name, but she goes, Rebecca. And I went, huh, I don't know Rebecca. Like, trying to steer away from, I really hope this isn't the person who I think it is. I was like, I don't know Rebecca. And she goes, yeah, you do. I used to ride your bus. And then she said her last name. And I was like, I just froze for like 2 or 3 seconds. And then I just let out like the hardest laugh of my life. And then I hung up on her. Like, I know what you're going to say. Like, Ryan, that is an asshole thing to do. That is the worst thing to do to someone who just confessed that maybe they liked you or they were trying to talk to you this whole time. And that may have been a really asshole thing to do. But I had no emotion other than laughter. Like, that was just the most awkward and cringy thing that I've ever seen and ever happened to me in my entire life. Like, I just started bursting out laughing and then I hung up. Like, I know that's super asshole thing to do, but if you think about it, like, what was she doing to me for 5 days, making me worry that someone was gonna like kill me or something, knew where I lived and all this shit. So, I mean, I guess it was an eye for an eye. Like, she was an asshole to me at first, so I guess I kind of redid the favor and just laughed in her face and then hung up. But, yeah, that was definitely the most weirdest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life so far. And the creepiest, because I felt like I was being stalked for like 4 days. And, you know, my address was, she was talking where I lived and shit like that. That's just really crazy. And I've never had anything like that happen to me. And hopefully it doesn't happen ever again. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the story. Hopefully you guys found it enjoyable and creepy as I felt during that. If you guys did enjoy, I would appreciate if you guys leave a like and subscribe for more content if you haven't already. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys later.